Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener.
Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm, because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
Hey, what up, though, people? Thank you guys for choosing to kick off this victory show, this DMAC Day show with the WUW Crew. It's Wake Up Woodward. Going ahead and smash that like button. And we got a packed house. We got a packed show. It's your boy Brandon Dent, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Flannel Sam, the vet of the squad, vet of the network, Red Wings correspondent. Red Wings. Come on, buddy. We still love you guys, though. But, hey, Flannel Sam, how you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling good. I mean, we all know what happened with the Pistons. They dispatched of the Victor Wembanyama-less San Antonio Spurs by 26. Really, it wasn't even that close. So that was great. Obviously, wish we could have got a victory for the Red Wings, but I wasn't expecting them to go into Colorado and win. And the funny thing is, the Canadians, they go and lose. The Red Wings still keep giving me almost like this false sense of hope to where they just won't die even if they continue to lose. But that's all right, you know. I want them to finish the season well.
Hey, you know, and that's the most important thing, especially with where their season is right now. Based on where it was a couple months ago, and the expectations with the Todd father were a little bit different. But I'm still going to, based on how our hockey puck knowers are telling us, listen, this team has a good opportunity underneath Yzerman to at least cash in with some of these young players that are showing some promise next season. Hey, you know what? We ride with the Yzer plan. I'm not a Steve bot, though.
No, I know. The Yzer plan has a lot of good things, and I think it's on course in a lot of ways, but got to do a better job signing veterans this offseason than they did this previous offseason. Do I think he will? We shall see, but I also am excited, as you know, about more of the prospects getting onto the big club.
Yep, and today it is the 28th anniversary of Fight Night at the Joe, March 26, 1997. We're going to talk about that in the next segment, but chat family, I wanted to tee it up for you all because you'll notice today is just Red Wings gear, Red Wings stuff up here, and there's 4 different pucks. We have 4 shows. DMAC signed each of them, and they all have a special message on them as well. We're giving away 1 puck per show, and on socials, there's going to be a DMAC jersey giveaway. It's going to be a signed jersey. So, you know what? If you remember Fight Night at the Joe, even if you know what? If you were there, put your memories. If you were with family, friends, dinner, watching at home, listening to it on the radio, hey, put that into the chat. We want to make sure that we're honoring the legend, Darren McCarty. You talk about, players nicknamed the perfect human. You know, Darren McCarty, for all intents and purposes at Wake Up Woodward, is our perfect human. There's not many people that's better than him, and what he's done when I look around here for really all of us and the advice he gives and how he's in the trenches to make sure that we can have these types of opportunities. Shout out to Darren McCarty, man. We love you, brother, and happy for you to have your day. It's Turtle Day.
It is Turtle Day. Shout out to Darren McCarty. Obviously, we appreciate him at Woodward Sports, and I know that Red Wings fans do as well. He's the king of every room he walks into. I've got to see it firsthand many, many times, and sometimes it's like, man, that the kind of sometimes you wish you could just like have that kind of power for a day, but the fact that we're all friends with him, the fact that we're all close to him, we get to see it up close and personal, and that's pretty cool.
Hey, definitely. I can't wait to talk about it. Those Detroit Pistons, they clinch at least a 500 season this year.
Oh, yeah.
41-32 after a bludgeoning of the Wemby-less San Antonio Spurs, who they still had a little bit of talent on the other side. They still had some three-point shooters, and for whatever reason, Vassell wanted to just go off on the Pistons in the first half, but it didn't matter. They hold another opponent as well, Flannel Sam, to under 100 points. Yeah. They win 122-96, and stay ready, Saz. He did his thing.
Yeah.
That boy Marcus Sasser, who was probably one of the picks from the Restore era that not a lot of people are heralded about, and it's because of where he falls in the depth chart. But to see a player stay ready through all the ups and downs, through the inconsistency, shows that this guy takes his opportunities serious. And to be able to go out there in this part of the season and give Cade Cunningham some rest, who's dealing with a calf contusion, so he missed the last couple games, and to go in there and effectively look like a really, really good, confident, sure-minded, and direct combo guard, that's been awesome. And because they've allowed him to run pick and roll and run some facilitation sets. But I've noticed they let it stay balanced with guys like Ron Holland in there, as well as Asar Thompson and Malik Beasley. And you just see a guy like Marcus Sasser thriving. And last night, he led all scorers in the game with 27 points on an efficient 9 of 12 shooting.
Yeah.
5 of 7 from behind the arc. That step back, man, it's becoming his thing more and more. We know that it was something he relied on a lot or could go to in college. And to see him looking more and more like that at this stage in the season, when we're talking about there might be a little bit of dead legs. Players have played a long season, and we know how hard the Detroit Pistons have played this year. But now you got guys who they've managed their minutes, like Beef Stew. So he won't be in the voting for at the end of the year. But my man looks refreshed out there. Ron Holland, Marcus Sasser, Asar Thompson, who was on minutes restrictions. All of these guys are vital contributors, and all of them are going to be a little bit more rested than some of the other top dogs around the league right now.
Yeah, and you can't say enough about Marcus Sasser. The role that he's been asked to play this last couple of games, with the usage, with the minutes, he has absolutely thrived. That's why we call him Stay Ready Sass. We all know that for large periods of the season, like prior to the previous game, there was a long stretch where Marcus Sasser was pretty much out of the rotation. And unfortunately for him, I think it's probably going to stay that way come playoff time. And he's not exactly a perfect fit. You wish he was a little bit better of a distributor, or you wish he had a little bit more size. But in this situation, the last couple of games, with Cade Cunningham being out, we all know Jaden Ivey's been out for the majority of the season, Marcus Sasser absolutely thrived. In these last two games in which the Pistons are 2-0 without Cade Cunningham, which is an accomplishment in and of itself, Marcus Sasser is giving you 24 points per game on 71, 67, 90 shooting splits. I understand that it's just a 2-game sample size, but that's some pretty decent volume that he was getting those splits on as well. And he is developing, as we see before our own eyes, more of a bag. You mentioned his step back. He's a really good shot creator for himself, and he's showing that when he gets the opportunity and usage. Getting it even into the lane, finishing at the rim, finishing amongst the trees, as my old coach used to say, especially for the little fellas. I mean, he's about 6 foot. I remember at the press conference, stands just a little bit taller. But he's playing like a 6'2", 6'3" combo guard with, like you said, every tool in the bag right now. And he's just going to work. That's what I love about this team. I know tomorrow we got the legend T. Foss and Summer in the building, and we're going to talk about which of these players fit best on the going to work of the Bad Boys Pistons. And he does believe that there's some recipe with this team, with this foundation, with what we're seeing percolating right now, that is very, very reminiscent of the early days of the foundation of the Bad Boy Pistons. But obviously, this team has to continue to work. And that's what JB Bickerstaff has continued to drill and instill into this team. He said it's always about the standards. And tonight, we're satisfied with it. We reached that. And so this team is continuing to push. They're not resting on their laurels, and this is what you need as you're entering into the playoffs. You need some players who can step up and be those energy guys. Every year in the NBA playoffs, you see certain players across the league who maybe they didn't have huge roles during the season, but then in the playoffs, all of a sudden, they look like different players. That's what I do believe we're going to get out of guys like a Ron Holland. I think people are going to be like, whoa, who's Ron Holland? Yeah, you're late to the party. But it's because of how JB Bickerstaff has been able to manage this lineup all season. Those veterans, man, they've been doing their thing. And Marcus Sasser talked about that as well. They asked and talked about how this team has effectively, with the young players, been in a position realistically to win. They're going to finish over 500. Yeah. He says it's the vets, and he named all of them: Tim, Bees, and Tobias. Yeah, and the vets have continued to be here for this team all season long. And last night, what was great about last night, and you can include the vets in it all. We can talk about Marcus Sasser. Obviously, he was the star of the game. He was the standout, but it was just such a great team win all around. You saw the vets really, contribute. You saw Tobias Harris have a pretty good game. You saw Tim Hardaway Jr. contribute. You saw Malik Beasley make a couple of threes, even though it wasn't his most efficient. What's up?
No, I was like, say a name. There's one name on there. I was waiting for this one.
Who am I missing?
Jalen Duren.
Oh yeah. Well, I was mentioning the veteran specifically, but Jalen Duren. How about Point Duren? Should we call him Point Duren at this point? And
Point Duren.
What? Obviously, nobody likes to see Cade Cunningham miss some games. But when a Cade Cunningham misses a game like that and those Pistons can win by 26 still, you get an opportunity, I think, for other players to experiment a little bit. And we saw during a 6-game stretch earlier in the season where Jalen Duren averaged 5.7 assists per game and the Pistons were 6-0 in those games. Jalen Duren has that gift. He has the passing gift. There's a reason why. I think it was Greg Kelser, if I remember correctly, made the comparison that Jalen Duren could be a Bam Adebayo archetype. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing.
That was great. At
the time, I was a little bit like, I don't necessarily know. But the more you see Jalen Duren develop the facilitator, just the facilitator role, that's one of the things that makes Bam Adebayo stand out as a player. The fact that he's a fantastic passing big man on top of everything else he does. We're seeing that from Jalen Duren. And if Jalen Duren can become a Bam Adebayo type, this team could end up being a perennial championship contender. And the thing with Duren, all he really needs to develop, I think, is more of a consistent jumper. But other than that, he's got all the tools to be a Bam Adebayo.
Hey, Jalen Duren, go get your McDice on. Go and get your McDice on. And I think he has the bag. We see him sometimes in these practices and shoot-arounds working on that type of stuff. So he's continuing to hone those skills. And in the games, JB Bickerstaff is making sure to put him in a position to use his best skills. While, maybe in the past we've seen him try to do a little bit too much, I think simplifying the game right now is put him in a position to be Point Duren. He's a hub. As soon as they throw that ball to him at the kind of free throw extended and he turns around, I already know he has the ability to do the triple threat. Hey, right now we'll call it the double threat because we want him to be able to get that pop ability. But his athleticism and his ability to kind of put the ball on the ground one time and get to the rack, no matter where he is in the half court, that's just been effective for him. We've even seen him get to the rack from the three-point line off of failed DHOs. So Jalen Duren, when they talked about the whole Sean Kemp thing, when Greg Kelser sat in that chair that Kavasi Chase is in right now and mentioned Bam, that to me is music to my ears because we're starting to see Jalen Duren step into the levels of versatility as a player, as a big man that they stated. They were, a little pushbacky on labeling him as a 4 or a 5, and they just said, that dude's a front court player who can go and get it. And I remember Dwayne Casey was waxing glowingly. He set up the Krispy Kreme as well as Troy Weaver for Jalen Duren, and now we're really starting to see KG's number 2 on the team start, doing his thing in a big spot with Cade out. Who led the team in assists last night?
It was Jalen Duren.
Jalen Duren.
Yep.
And shout out to Dennis Schroeder too, but it's just unbelievable. The pass that sticks out in my mind, I posted it online as well. It was that he dribbled once to the right, and it looked like the defender thought there was a pick coming, and Asar just cut back door. And he just, I don't know how he was able to just, thread the needle with that pass between two defenders, but right over to Asar for the finish. And you just see Asar turn around, or Jalen Duren turn around like, Like, he knows it, man. Yep. He got the feel for the game.
And I'm so glad that you mentioned that pass and that connection because we saw what Jalen Duren was able to do, impacting the game greatly as a facilitator. But you also saw who was on the receiving end of that one, Asar Thompson. And Asar, we all know that there have been moments in the last couple of games where he's gotten himself into a little bit of foul trouble, maybe not played as many minutes against Dallas as we would have liked. I still think that wasn't JB Bickerstaff's finest moment, but I forgive him for that. They're a 41-win team already. But you see Asar, when he gets the usage, when he gets the minutes, he plays extremely well. He gave you 14.6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, efficiently finishing on one of those Jalen Duren assists. That's really what you want from him. He's a fantastic cutter and a fantastic finisher.
Shout out to Tobias Harris. Y'all know I like my stocks. 3 steals, 1 block for him, 4 stocks. But shout out to Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah.
I know we call him Beef Stew. He's on that Flannel Sam diet, man. All meat, no sides. 3 blocks. Call your mama. Cry about it.
Hey, 3 blocks,
he
20 minutes.
That's what I love, man. Just seeing how these guys are getting after it, man. Asar Thompson, a couple steals as well. This team continues to be one that makes defense a priority. This has been one of your better teams, if not the best team in the NBA by the numbers, by the efficiency since January 1 in all of the NBA when you're talking defense. And that's why we see this Detroit Pistons team having the success that they are. It's unfortunate what's happening with Dame Lillard as well, with the blood clot that breaking news last night that he'll be out indefinitely. Word is that he's still trying to get back this season. But as you look at these standings here, the Pistons do pull into a tie with the Milwaukee Bucks for the 5 seed, but they do sit a couple games behind the Pacers right now for that 4th seed. So got 9 games left to go in the season, and it's going to be an interesting finish to how this thing goes. Because playoff matchups aside, you got the Knicks, you got the Pistons sitting right there for all of prime time.
And I'll tell you what, if Dame can't come back for the playoffs, as much as I respect Giannis and think that he's still the best player in the East, and I think he's going to end up as, at worst, a top 25 player to ever live, if Dame's out, the Bucks are done. If Dame's there and playing his game, I think the Bucks are potentially a threat. I understand that the Cavs and the Celtics are, top dogs in the East, but we remember when the Bucks have had their postseason success, especially specifically when they won the championship in 2021. Chris Middleton was a damn good Robin. Giannis can't do it all by himself, and I understand that they're not completely devoid of talent without Dame, but if Dame's out and the first round matchup is Bucks versus Pistons, I'm feeling a lot more confident with new information. Dame Lillard potentially being out, you're allowed to be like, the Bucks matchup looks a little bit more like
There's
something the Pistons can exploit.
There was a reason, and you see things kind of transpire the way that they do, and I don't think that attrition is done for their team right now, unfortunately. But man, it's going to be interesting to see where the Pistons take this thing from here, because they've controlled their own destiny since an 0-4 start. They've controlled their own destiny, and they've taken full advantage of it. So shout out to the Detroit Pistons. They have players that have stayed ready all across this roster. And you know what? Now to get Cade Cunningham back this Friday on a lot of rest for a showdown at LCA against the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. I'm sure LCA will be absolutely.
I think they're going to get him.
Yeah.
I really do. I think Cade's going to show out. I think Woodward Ave is going to be jumping. I think the Pistons are going to get one.
I don't hate that opinion at all, and I would be thrilled about it. I think the Pistons owe the Cavaliers one, and Cade Cunningham with a little bit of rest. I like that formula. One thing that I want to address, though, you know how oftentimes, and this might seem like a little bit of a hot take, but I don't give a damn. It's a pro Detroit hot take. Weezy D313, you say a lot of things that I disagree with that I think are a little bit wild, but Weezy D313 said something that was interesting. He said that Ron Holland is better than Stephon Castle. Stephon Castle just gets all of the usage. And Weezy, you are correct. I'm not as high on Stephon Castle as some. I think Zachary Richase should win the Rookie of the Year, not Stephon Castle. And what is my issue with Castle? You won't be surprised when you hear it. He shoots way too many threes, and he can't shoot threes. He's not like Asar Thompson or even right now Ron Holland, who we all know aren't great three-point shooters, but whether it's because of them, the flow of the offense, or JB Bickerstaff, they're more self-aware, or at least the coach has instilled more self-awareness. With Stephon Castle, he just gets too much of a leash to do not whatever he wants, but especially since Wemby's been out and when there's no De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle pretty much gets the keys to the castle, and no pun intended, by the way. And he's done some good things, and he's had a good year, but I also don't like that he shoots his team out of games with his lack of three-point acumen. So, Weezy, on what may seem like a hot take, we are actually in lockstep on this one. I got to give you that one because I've talked a lot of crap about other things you said.
And that goes back to the big board as well that we broke down last year during draft time. We had Detroit Kool-Aid's top 10, and that was the notion. With Ron Holland, it was that this guy was still an effective player despite the lack of three-point shooting, and he just chose not to shoot volume because he wasn't that good at it. But he was a rhythm shooter. So there were times where he would get on a heater, and he's hitting everything. And so you realize that there is a makeup there with Ron Holland, and every other tool in the bag was effectively there. He was going to be effectively your best wing defender or perimeter defender, whatever you want to call him, out of this draft class. He was going to be the guy that was going to add volume. You know, I can give him the ball, and he's going to get me at least 50% of the time he's finishing at the rim. And we see a lot of the things that we discussed about even when they drafted him, and we say, all right, let's analyze now. Let's not react. Let's analyze. We're seeing these things on film, and the thing that worried me with Stephon Castle, I think he's performed better than I thought he would. And I know that was your guy, JB. He's performed better than I thought he would this season. But some of the reasons why I thought he wouldn't be a good fit with the Pistons are starting to rear their heads. And some of the reasons why, after we got to analyze Ron Holland even more as a player, we're seeing those things. His defense, his energy, his transition, just sprinting down the floor, and his finishing at the rim at a very, very effective rate. I'm so much more impressed as well at how he's finishing through contact and how he's accruing and ones. Think back to some of our other high draft picks, including K.A. Cunningham, and at the rim, finishing at the rim through the contact has been a struggle. So I tip the cap to a guy like Ron Holland and these young players, and they always give credit back to their teammates. He credits Cade for a lot. They credit these vets for a lot. And you see the way they support each other. Jaden Ivey just, I know we got Woodward Pistons today, so.
Oh yeah, we got Woodward Pistons, but we definitely wanted to break down the game. And for the record, I'm not saying that Stephon Castle is trash or anything like that. He could definitely develop, but I think that when Wemby gets back, when they get their full complement next year, that the way that they use Stephon Castle might need to change, just for him to be at his peak effectiveness. Because what I've seen this year from Stephon Castle is a poor man's Michael Carter-Williams rookie year. Jeez. I'm not saying that he's going to fall off the cliff like Michael Carter-Williams did, but this is going to be one of the weakest Rookie of the Year wins I've ever seen. Maybe the weakest. Weaker than even Malcolm Brogdon's. With respect. With respect. Right, but he is the prohibitive favorite to win Rookie of the Year. And I think it should be Zachary Richase, personally. I know that Richase hasn't had like the playmaking that Stephon Castle does, but he's been more efficient, and I just think he fits in better with the Hawks than Castle does.
I like him, I like the flow to Matas Buzelis' game. I really do.
Matas Buzelis is going to be good.
He's going to be so
I
good.
think the Bulls got themselves a steal. And I was skeptical about him, but as you all know, I'm from Illinois. I have a lot of Bulls fan friends. And so I'm more tapped into the Bulls than most people here. And Matas Buzelis, the fact after the Bulls, traded Zach LaVine and all of that, and when Vooch was out for a while with injuries, Lonzo Ball's been hurt a lot recently. That's given an opportunity for Matas Buzelis to get real usage, like 30 minutes, get 30 minutes per game. He's been really impressing me, and hopefully he's not a problem for the Pistons to contend with for years to come. But he's good.
He is like this frail frame, and then he'll dunk you through the rim, and then yell at you, bark at you. I'm like, I like him.
He is a supreme athlete, and I think that highlight that he had at Crypto, now formerly Staples, in which he behind the back schooled Luka Doncic and finished at the rim with a dunk. It's like, oh my God. So I'm not trying to glaze a Bull too much, because obviously I'm a Pistons fan and we love the Pistons. But Matas Buzelis is one of my godsons from another team. Love that man. But hope that he blows every time he comes into Little Caesars. I promise you.
Glaze a Bull a little.
Before we go to break, we got to shout out some super chats that we got sent in before we move on. $5 from Burn. He said, Detroit, this Friday, you better pack out LCA. I don't want to see Cavs home game in Detroit. Show up and make their ears ring. Also, $4.99 from Dante151. He said the Red Wings called up Cossa, but as an emergency backup. God effing damn it. Just make him a starter with 10 games left. At least we have the Pistons.
All right.
Hey,
I think we need to hear from Feldman.
You know what? I know we got to get into D-Mac Day I want to talk about this event, man, and give it its proper due. I remember watching it, and as I got older, I remember seeing it like live, but as I got older, there were certain details that I was like, yo, D-Mac is a poet, bro. There was just certain details about that night that I'm just like, the payback for Drapes, he made sure to take care of all of it.
Absolutely. And where you should take care of your car buying needs, Feldman Chevrolet of Novi, where some of you have had an opportunity to meet D-Mac when we did live shows there. Feldman Chevrolet of Novi, Detroit's #1 Chevrolet dealer and the Chevrolet dealer of the year for 6 consecutive years. They got deals of the month. You can get a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 Crew for just $199 a month. You can also get a 2025 Chevy Equinox for only $249 a month. Come see George Hawes and his team at Feldman Chevrolet of Novi.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Woodward Sports is live in downtown Detroit for Tigers opening day.
This one's blasted out toward the bullpen.
Live from the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House.
Way back, forget it. Out of here.
Brought to you by White Claw. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won.
This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Listen, I'm not sure who, but somebody let the Tigers get hot.
The Detroit Tigers are locked and loaded for another great summer in Detroit. And it all starts downtown at the biggest home opener party in the city. Join Woodward Sports at Grand Slam Festival as we take over the Detroit Opera House parking lot. A big-ass tent for a big-ass Detroit party. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFestival.com or follow Woodward Sports on X and IG for your chance to get in for free. Party across from Comerica Park and hear the roar as the Tigers take the field for the first time in 2025. DJs, food trucks, bartenders, live broadcasts, and more. See you for the Tigers' first home game of the season, April 4th at the Grand Slam Festival with Detroit's biggest party animals, Woodward Sports.
Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Do yourself a favor, scan that QR code on screen, use code word Woodward1000. You can deposit up to $1,000, but all you have to do is place a minimum of a $20 bet, and if it doesn't hit, they'll throw it right back into your account. No questions asked. It's Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Scan that QR code, use code word Woodward1000, and make some money today.
1 days since the hit on Chris Draper.
What up, though, people? It is Turtle Day. Shout out to the legendary McCarty, Detroit's enforcer, the mayor of Hockey Town, and just overall good guy. Remember D-Mac Day last year. Well, they had another D-Mac Day against the Colorado Avalanche last year, and we had boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. And he was signing autographs for everybody. KJ, I know you was over there in the area as well. And
Yes,
they
sir.
cut the line off. They were like, D-Mac, we got to take you other places, other things. He was like, no, I'm not going anywhere until I sign everyone's autograph. And not just that, he just takes the time to talk to everybody, every single fan, bro.
Nah, much respect for D-Mac. Beautiful human, man. And it's crazy. You know you real when you have a day recognized for whooping somebody's ass, but you already know the type of guy D-Mac is, man. So shout out to him,
Ain't
bro.
that one
Nothing
of those
but love.
only in Detroit type of thing?
Yeah.
Shout out to D-Mac, man. Detroit legend. And March 26, 1997, fight night at the Joe. The brawl in Hockey Town, Flannel Salmon. It was just 10 months prior where there was a brutal cross check and a slam into the boards. Claude Lemieux into Chris Draper.
Yeah.
10 months later, you got Darren McCarty getting his revenge.
And the thing too about that Claude Lemieux cheap shot, obviously we know Chris Draper broke multiple facial bones, and it was in Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals, which was the closeout game that year, which was at the time another Red Wings playoff disappointment. So it literally was adding injury to insult, and obviously we know that it made Claude Lemieux public enemy number 1 in the city of Detroit, and rightfully so. But it's rare that you see a rivalry which was so epic that the Red Wings Avalanche rivalry was from about 96 till 2002 really almost be defined in a lot of ways by a regular season moment, because March 26, 1997, it is widely regarded as the greatest hockey brawl ever. We saw it started with Igor Larionov and Peter Forsberg, and then Darren McCarty was able to break free and find Claude Lemieux and cold cock him on the face and turtle Claude Lemieux, which was basically Darren McCarty standing up for his friend, his grind line mate, Chris Draper, which was absolutely amazing. That's the kind of guy and teammate that Darren McCarty was. You saw Patrick Waugh try to get in. That, honestly, if I wasn't biased towards Darren McCarty, which, believe it or not, I am biased towards Darren McCarty because he's a friend and I work with him and a great dude, the coolest part to me was Patrick Waugh going in to try to, do his shit to kind of contribute, and then Brendan Shanahan gets in the way and just knocks his ass on the ground. That was amazing. That's dog-like behavior right there. That's Patrick Waugh all geared up in his goal. He looked like the Terminator going out there, and Brendan Shanahan flattened him. It was beautiful. And then, of course, you had Waugh and Vernon going at it, which goalie fight, what's cooler than that?
What's cooler than that, man? Oh, the big pads, the goalie masks flying off. And you know what? One of the details that I liked about it was Darren McCarty dragging Claude Lemieux over close to where Chris Draper also had been hurt too. That's like just those little small details as the enforcer to make sure it's like, no, not only are you going to get this tail whipping, but I'm going to put your face in it too. I know Cavassier Chase talks about that type of stuff too, but this was one where Darren McCarty was like absolute retribution. And here's some stats on this thing, man. Not only did the goalies meet at center ice for one of the most there were so many iconic photos and just clips from that night, but the game had 39 penalties and 148 penalty minutes, bro. They were getting after it. And we know Darren McCarty was also the game hero.
Yes, he got the game-winning goal in overtime after some should argue he should have been kicked out, but we all know that's not true.
What do you mean?
But, hey, some, I'm not saying me, but Darren McCarty even acknowledges, like, yeah, maybe in today's era I probably would have been, but hey, with opportunity comes an opportunity for somebody to step up and get the game winner in overtime, because even without everything that had happened, obviously with the skirmish, it was just a damn good regular season hockey team between two powerhouses. And it wasn't, you can't say that it was a passing of the torch because the Avalanche would go on to win another one in 01, but the Red Wings at the time had a lot of playoff disappointment. In the previous year, the team that had given them the playoff disappointment was the Colorado Avalanche. The year before that, the team that had given the Red Wings playoff disappointment was a team in which Claude Lemieux was there. The Devils at the time, Claude Lemieux won the Conn Smythe. So it was cathartic in a lot of ways, getting your lick back at Claude Lemieux and getting your lick back at the Colorado Avalanche. And maybe that's what helped propel them to actually get over the playoff hump and then win 4 in the next 12 years.
I was going to say because effectively when you see these great teams start their ascension, is usually another team standing in the way. We know in Michael Jordan's in his story, the bad boys are that for him. They were a roadblock for years. LeBron James, the Pistons were a roadblock for years. For the Red Wings, it was the Colorado Avalanche for a long time, and I hated the Colorado Avalanche, man. Obviously, as much as the players probably hated within the lines of the game each other. But I was going to ask you, how much just did that propel that Red Wings team to at least mentally have that edge and that advantage over the Avalanche? Because we know how it helped to propel that Red Wings team.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the Claude Lemieux stuff was great, but the game-winning goal was actually, in my opinion, Darren McCarty's shining moment of the game. Some people might disagree. I think they were both great, but the fact that they won that game, it was absolutely huge. And just a couple more points about that Red Wings Avalanche and just how special that rivalry was and how much you wish that you had something like that back. Between 1996 and 2002, those teams met in the playoffs 5 times. 5 times. The Avalanche unfortunately got the better 3 of those times, but the Red Wings won 3 Stanley Cups during that time. So that's always a nice edge that they have, that during that rivalry, the Red Wings won more on the biggest stage. And if you want to go even expand that even further, in the Red Wings 08 championship, they did have to get through the Avalanche, albeit a different version of that team in order to get there, to get their 4th in the modern era. So the Avalanche were, if the Red Wings were going to want to win, in 3 out of the 4 of their cups, they had to get through the Avalanche.
D-Mac Day, what up, though? Cavassier Chase, one of our Puck Nords, and I love your story about your connection to the Red Wings and why it matters so much for you, especially with your pops and everything. And then to hear you talk about what D-Mac, as you've got to meet him as well. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, I got to meet D-Mac for the first time up in Mount Pleasant. I work for Jars, been there with the company for a while, and he popped into the store one day on his way up to training camp in Traverse City. I just walked up to him and said, hey, pleasure to meet you, sir. Big fan of, not only you, but I told him I watched the shows at Woodward. And he stopped me for a second, in the middle of the lobby. He was asking me some questions about myself, just about, what I liked about the shows and stuff like that. Really cool. Yeah, really cool experience. I ended up, walking to the back just, in awe and disbelief. I mean, met him last year at Opening Day Fest when I won tickets from watching the shows. And, I mean, just see him, almost every day here, it's amazing. He's a truly incredible individual. Like I said before, like Geneva Convention does not exist for Darren McCarty. Anything that man wants or needs, absolutely. Men, women, children, anybody can get it for D-Mac. And I mean, he, like I said, just incredible legend in Detroit sports lore, but also just what an incredible person as well. And not only in his athletic accomplishments, but there's a lot of stuff in music, in comedy, and wrestling. He lives the fullest life, and someone I truly look at and just want to be in every aspect.
And how quick is he to share the platform, the spotlight, or the stage, or the come to the? Oh, you want to? Sure. How quick is he to do that?
He's one of a kind, a very generous individual. I mean, he loves to meet people, talk to them. I went to his comedy show a couple weeks ago. He sticks around as late as it takes and interacts with everybody who comes in. He'll sit there, you take a picture with him, talk to him. He'll share a laugh with you, even though you just got done listening to him share all these other stories. He lets you have that moment, and it like I said, I'll never not go to bat for Darren McCarty.
Yeah, I got a moment as soon as yesterday. We had the guy from Planet Fitness on Big D Energy.
Yeah.
He came through. He did the interview. Really nice guy. At the end of the interview, how we take pictures in front of the back wall. They ended up taking, him and Joey ended up taking a picture together on the back wall. And then D-Mac literally was like, I want KG and Spenny to be in the picture too. We got to get the whole Big D Energy crew in there. And we all came, took a picture. It's something small, but that's just lends to the type of person D-Mac is. He always is looking out for the team. He always, puts our best interests before his own. He's an amazing guy. He really is, man. I got nothing but respect for him.
I got a couple of stories with D-Mac. One is hilarious, bro, and the other one is it's the epitome of who he is, and it's the first time. I remember I got the call. Woodward Sports was about, at this time, maybe about 6 to 8 months old.
Yeah.
And they were doing their first NFL draft show at the Del Mar in downtown Detroit, man.
The Penny Sewell draft.
Yes. And Joy Bell was in the building, man. It was an epic night. And I remember walking in, and they were recruiting me, and Darren was like, "Oh, that's Kool-Aid." And you can hear him in the talking to the other people. And he came over and he just introduced himself. I'm like, "Yo, this is freaking D-Mac." Similar like Cavassier Chase's experience. And I was like, yo, he was like, "Hey, my name is Darren McCarty. We're glad to have you here, man. Welcome to the team, bro." I was like, "D-Mac, I know exactly who you are. You're legend." He's like, "I'm just Darren, bro. We're just here to try and work and get to the top." And that was just I was like, yo, this is so crazy. I remember I had my wife there. I was like, yo, that's Darren McCarty. He's talking crazy to me right now. Does he know who he is? I had to look it up again. I swear this is the right D-Mac, because he was just down to earth. He was humble. He wanted to talk more about what my vision and my dreams were. What did I like to do? I'm like, this is crazy. And I had a whole conversation with him about him asking me questions. I'm like, D-Mac, man, this is wild. He was like, "I'm a people person, man. I like to just know what people, especially if we're working together, and this is what this day represents."
Yeah.
Having his teammates' backs.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is what the epitome is. And I remember we were sitting in there in a meeting, man, the funny one. And he was talking about how he used to get it in. He was like, "I could be some of you guys' dads." Oh. And I was, it was funny though. Hold on. And I was like, I don't know why I said this. I was like, "Man, my mom used to work for HAP. You guys are sponsors." He was like, "I could probably be your dad too, Kool-Aid. I don't want you feeling left out." Oh my. And it was just hilarious, man. It's the humor. It's his brand of camaraderie, brotherhood. The fact that he's always on us to make sure, not just saying, "Hey, get the boots on the ground," because we know that the people are the best part of Woodward, but it's about him also actionarily putting us in those positions too.
Yeah,
so
the ultimate teammate, bro. He really is truly a great teammate, and I can understand why he had so much success as a Red Wing, man. You really can see.
And I'm only saying this because because you brought it up that D-Mac had said it. I've been some places at a job that I've had before and I have on the side now. Some places in certain areas. I'll just say this. Imagine being Darren McCarty in 1997, walking into a bar in Wyandotte.
You didn't
He
pay
could
for
have
a drink
his
ever.
pick of anyone in there.
Yeah, that too.
Of anyone in there, of any ladies in those fine establishments.
No, we got what you meant.
Yeah.
Not that he's ever told me any of those stories, but that's just a hunch that I have.
No, he's a rock star. We all know D-back is a rock star.
What I see Willie B over there, man. Oh man, and shout out to Darren McCarty. Shout out to those Red Wings. We understand just how much winning went on there. And we got these 4 pucks up here. We're giving away 1 puck per show. So by the end of the show, one of you guys are going to go home with this puck. And maybe we'll throw some trivia and some things out there in the chat. I might have to get with with Chase GPT, and maybe we figure out some way that we can give this puck away to one of you all out there. And we also have these signed Darren McCarty hockey sticks. I'm going to talk to some people, and we might have about 30 of these that we could potentially give away today. So stay tapped in with socials, stay tapped in with all of the shows, and make sure that you guys are doing everything you can to promote Turtle Day.
Absolutely.
Fight night at the Joe.
Absolutely. And before we get to Rod Beard, I just want to read this from Skydog722. I was 36 on March 26, 1997. I wonder how old Sam and Chase were when that happened. I was 5, and I don't believe you were born, right?
I was still swimming in my daddy's sack.
Jeez. Hey.
Was I 10?
Man. Wow, we're all a bunch of old folks compared to Chase.
I was talking about yesterday in Big D. I did the math. I'm pretty sure my conception was right around the time the Red Wings won the Cup in '97.
Oh damn!
So, yeah.
D-Mac, the reason you even here?
Yeah,
I very well could be.
I'll tell you what, your parents experienced a lot of dead wings, so they were probably super excited about that.
Yeah, man. Get you in the mood.
You brought it up.
Hey, I understand. My parents had sex. That's how I was born.
Cavassier in the building. Hey. Tell me that wasn't ladies' man, JBSmooovv.
I mean, that was straight ladies' man, 100%.
It wasn't the stork, Chase. It was the stork, bro. My bad.
Hey, listen, you guys already heard Chase talk about it, and it's that Grand Slam Fest. That's where he won tickets last year. He got to come and hang out with the crew. We got some content in. We're going to start playing that this week as well, some of the content from last year. And it was an epic time, epic day. We had, alcoholic flannel. Well, this should be White Claw because we have a different sponsor. We had the Heavies on the loose, and they're going to be even bigger and badder this year. They're safe from Fox 2, so Fox 2, you don't have to worry this year. That was epic. But I'm telling you guys, you want to be a part of this thing. Darren McCarty, big Tigers fan. So Detroit, get ready. Tigers opening day is here on April 4th. Join Woodward Sports for the biggest and best party in the D, the Grand Slam Festival. It's an outdoor tent party at the Detroit Opera House, so we're right in the middle of the action. The broadcast is brought to you by Jars Cannabis, Mad Packs, and White Claw, where drinks will be flowing, smoke clouds will rise, and the party won't stop. WSN broadcasts will go all day long. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today at GrandSlamDetroit.com. Woodward Sports is opening day, brought to you by Jars Cannabis, Mad Packs, and White Claw.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
It's Planet Fitness, fitness that fits your budget. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? Want all the perks? Upgrade to the PF Black Card and enjoy use of amenities such as unlimited use of the Black Card Spa featuring hydro massage chairs, and total body enhancement and more, along with access to over 2,500 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or planetfitness.com.
Hey, what up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. Chat family, we appreciate you guys for kicking off today with the WUW Crew. Going ahead and let's run up those likes. We got a victory show for those Pistons. We got D-Mac Day that we are celebrating all day, so definitely make sure you drop your favorite D-Mac memories, some of your favorite highlights, if you've gotten to meet them in person, if you have had one of those personable experiences with D-Mac. I know chat family member and legend Tammy Chin, she's had a lot of cool experiences, and D-Mac has been just a really cool person to them.
Shout out Tammy.
And among others, I know Detroit Dabber and others who were there with us that night when D-Mac was signing the autographs, and we had a chat family meetup. So, hey, shout out, man. Get those memories into the chat and just what you remember most about Fight Night at the Joe. But I think we got the legend on the line. That is Detroit News Sports Editor-in-Chief, Rod Beard. What up, though, brother? Let's get him in here.
Gentlemen, happy Wednesday to you.
Right.
Hey, what up, though, Rod Beard? Hey, I'm loving the green and white, and not for Spartans, but Eastern Michigan.
No.
Never.
That looks Spartan. That looks Spartan.
It's for
Eastern Michigan.
That's the Eagles.
Hey,
that looks
listen.
Sparty-ish.
Hey, 1 year. I was there for 1 year. You got a certification. Shout out to the Eagles, man. Go green, go white there, huh? Hey, but Rod Beard, welcome to the show. Flannel Sam, definitely, if you have something that you wanted to ask, I wanted to be able to kick it off to you first. A little bit of audio technical difficulties, but I know we're talking about a lot of things as it relates to Pistons, D-Mac Day, and we even have Tigers right around the way.
Absolutely, but where I want to start is Michigan basketball, because the more that I really digest things, the more that I honestly believe that Michigan making the Sweet 16 and maybe further in Dusty May's first year is one of the most incredible seasons I've seen as a Michigan fan, based off of what I had to endure last year when there were games where towards the end I was hate watching and maniacally laughing when things inevitably would go wrong. But what have been to you some of the keys to Michigan winning those games in the tournament and advancing to the Sweet 16?
I think it's their backcourt showing up. For most of the regular season, it was sort of who's going to be the guy to even handle the ball. And as much as Trey Donaldson has struggled in his Michigan career, he's made amends for all of that in the Big Ten tournament and the NCAA tournament. Just big shots, game-winning shots, game-changing shots. We knew what we were getting with Vlad Golden and Danny Wolf, but it's just to see it all come together that they're making this little run. And honestly, this is just icing on the cake. That if you endured last season and the past couple of seasons to get to the NCAA tournament was just the hope this year. To win a couple of games and get to the Sweet 16 and continue that streak is just extra. All of that is just sprinkles and balloons and butterflies.
Yep, and how you feeling, man, as you're looking ahead at this team, not just what they can do this next weekend, but everything that Dusty May has shown in this first year, because it's going to be even more a big offseason ahead for them while they still have so much to go with this March Madness.
I wasn't sure about Dusty May coming in until I saw the John Beilein endorsement, and I'm a big John Beilein believer that he knows the good things and the things that it takes to make a good coach. And when he put his stamp of approval on it, it was, okay, well, this is going to work out. The quick turnaround is the key, too, that it wasn't, hey, get to the NIT this year, get to the NCAAs maybe next year or the year after. This was a very quick, this is the transfer portal and NIL now that you can remake your roster in a year. This is like when you're playing pickup ball and two players come in the gym and you're like, yeah, I got next. Y'all want to run? Yeah, we're running? Okay, cool. That's what he did with this roster to make it what it is now and to be able to turn things around so quickly.
Yeah, good morning, Rod. And I wanted to ask you, as much as I hate to ask you, about the Spartans. They came a little close against New Mexico, but they were able to get it done. And can you just speak to the job that, Tom Izzo is doing with Michigan State right now, and what are your expectations for them going forward? Because it looks like they're maybe Final Four bound.
Yeah, the same sort of thing with them it's maybe the reverse, is that you had questions about their front court. And their guards were going to be solid. And I mean, Jace Richardson is a game changer for them. And he'll say, hey, we had to realize that he was starter level material, but that there really are no egos on this team, or so it seems. And all of these guys can play, all of them, and a different guy can come in and be the star on each individual night. Even in the last game where Jace Richardson didn't have the best shooting game, there was somebody else to carry them. And those are the dangerous teams when you get in the tournament, that you don't count on one guy. Somebody else is going to pick up the slack for you. And just defensively, it kind of reminds me of what the Pistons do. When they get out in transition, they're going to hurt you. If those threes are falling, it just makes things that much harder to beat them.
Hey, I want to shift gears to the Tigers really quick, because their actual opening day is tomorrow in Los Angeles. The Parker Meadows, Matt Vierling, Wensiel Perez injuries, none of them are going to start the season. How concerning is that to you? And does that shape your expectations for the Tigers maybe in a more cautious or negative way?
Yeah, the 60-day DL for Parker Meadows is concerning, because that's your guy. That's your base stealing threat. That's your center fielder. They have some depth, so they can shift things around. But when you lose three guys, it's going to be tough. It's not one of your best hitters, so it's not as big of an issue, but you want to be full strength going into opening day and feeling like you can have a good start to the season. And they still can. They've got the pitching to make it work. It's just going to be that this is going to test their depth and to see if they can make things work. But baseball is a sport where you can sort of get away with that for a little bit. If you're missing Cade or you're missing Jace Richardson, those teams would fight the same. You might be able to get away with one of your kind of spot players in baseball and it'd be okay. But same thing, you want to have a good start to the season.
Definitely, and just your overall confidence right now in the Detroit Tigers. Obviously, they have some good, managing and coaching as it relates to AJ Hinch and Chris Fetter from a pitching perspective when we're talking about hoping that the pitching gets off to a good start. But just your overall confidence level with these Tigers, especially knowing that when they got healthy last year, they went on one of the best runs in all of baseball. Yeah, I mean, third base is still going to be a little bit sketchy. First base might be a little bit sketchy. If your outfield is sketchy, you're going to need to throw some one-hitters and some two-hitters or some shutouts in order to even be in some of these games. I don't like the idea of starting against the Dodgers, but at the same time, you get part of that out of the way. Starting out west and you come back home. So the divisional games obviously are going to be a little bit more important. But hit me at 40 games and we can revisit kind of where they are in the season. But you just want to see something that they don't fall into a hole like they did last year. Yep, let's definitely do that. We'll track that. 40 games into the season, we'll do our analysis. So with the Pistons, we do our 20 games in. With the Tigers, we'll do our 40. So we'll definitely track that. And on that show, JBSmooovv, we'll get into it. We'll set even more things in stone.
Yeah, and unfortunately, none of those games will be played with Parker Meadows. But just to talk Lions for just a sec before we move on to Woodward Pistons, FanDuel Sportsbook recently came out with a way too early NFC power rankings, and it lists the Lions at number 3 post the free agency wave, pre-draft, after the Eagles and the Commanders. Do you think 3 as we stand today is a fair ranking for the Lions in the NFC?
3 in the NFC or 3 overall?
Just the NFC.
3 in the NFC is madness. Who are the other 2 teams? What are we doing?
Of course, the Eagles being on top, but they put the Commanders above the Lions. Little recency bias there. And just below the Lions at number 4 was the Rams.
And the Bears at 5.
5 from the bottom?
No, just 5 overall, Rod. Just 5 overall.
Hey, you know how I feel about rankings and preseason rankings. Cade Cunningham, number 67, 71, whatever the number is. Man, whatever. Y'all not gonna get me charged up today. I ain't doing it.
You hear it? It's almost there. And Rod, just one more before we go to break. KG has one as well.
Yeah.
Two more, man. Hey, listen, this is Around Detroit Sports with the Detroit News, Rod Beard, sports editor-in-chief. But the Lions, there's a lot of people out there who feel like they haven't done enough to address some of their needs and really vault them into that Super Bowl kind of contention. We saw just how different it was between the Eagles and the Chiefs and where our Lions were. But they were also devastated with injuries and are getting some dogs back. They were still 15-2, and now you're adding, Aiden Hutchinson, Aleem McNeil will get healthy, and Brad Holmes is effectively taking all of the serviceable defensive backs left on the market. And so I just wanted to be able to get your feel on these Detroit Lions. Obviously, they still have the draft to add some pass rush help. But are people overreacting? Do they need to take a chill pill about these Detroit Lions?
Do people need to take a chill pill? Always.
Yeah, literally.
So, who in the division got better? The Bears got better, but they were the Bears. Like, they had to. You couldn't get worse. So, did Minnesota get better? No, not at all. So, the Lions are still the favorite in the division. Do you think they're going to be able to contend? And at the trade deadline, if the need arises, will they go out and find some other things? They haven't gotten worse. The Lions are not worse than they were, and they're going to be better than they were because they're getting their injured players back. So take a couple of chill pills and a seat over in the corner. Just let the season start.
Sit down.
All right.
Sit down.
Go sit down somewhere. That's pretty much what he's saying.
He's preaching, man, right now. Because I do. This team wasn't healthy, and they went 15-2. And I know that there's a lot that is said about the coordinators being gone, but Dan Campbell is the head guy in charge here. I just don't want anyone out there to undersell that. He's the head guy in charge. It's his offense. It's his ferocity. It's his philosophies, the whole grit and the mentality and the demeanor that we saw from day one out of Dan Campbell. And these players, they fit that same mold. But we got one more segment with the legend as well. We got to talk about these hot Detroit Pistons, right?
Hey, the 500 guaranteed.
Go ahead,
Let me say this.
Yeah.
Fans typically have PTSD because we've been through so many off seasons of they got to go do this. We need to go we need a quarterback, we need a running back, we need a defensive lineman. You're not at that point anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You needed to kind of tinker and do a little tuck or something with this roster, but it wasn't hair on fire. You got to go and replace 10 different positions, and you needed to do 10 things in free agency. This isn't that anymore. The roster is set. You have everything that you need except maybe one or two little pieces because you're getting Hutch back. You have an edge rusher. You just might want to do something on the other side. It's going to be okay. It'll be all right.
Hey, you know what? That's got to be music to – I know that's music to Flannel's ears hearing. You're getting Hutch back. It's going to be all right. That's a quote. Hey, Travis, if you're listening, that's a quote graphic. Credit Rod Beard. So you know what? We got one more segment on the way. Woodward Pistons on the way. The Detroit Pistons tied right now with the Bucks, but they do own that tiebreaker for at least a little bit because we know that there's a couple games down this stretch of this close of the season, man, that the Pistons have to be able to, make some maneuvering if they want to get up the standings. So let's get into that next segment. I think we got to hear from our friends over in the merch store, huh?
At merch, yes. You got to hear about some merch over here. Wait, you know what? That doesn't look right. Hold on. There you go. Okay. Do yourself a favor. Head over to woodwardsports.com. Click on that shop tab. I told you about those new designs, and check this out. Special for DMAC Day. We got the Turtle Boxing Club T-shirts. That looks sweet. I might have to go and cop that one after the show right now. And also, I saw DMAC Turtle Clawed hoodies at the Joe. Come on. You can't tell me that's not sweet. Go and get yourself a couple of these today, right now. WoodwardSports.com. Click on that shop tab. I'm not too sure how long these will last, so you need to go right now and pick up a few of these for yourself, for a friend, a neighbor. Just let them know, hey, DMAC Turtle Claw Lemieux today.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The bats are hot, and the weather is getting hotter. Summertime in the D with Detroit's big hitters, Woodward Sports. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
All right, Woodward sports fans, whether you're hitting the game or just simply chilling at home, Jars Cannabis has you covered. They're home to Michigan's largest line of recreational cannabis product. 27 locations across the state, 9 alone in Metro Detroit. So there's always one right around the corner from you. And don't fear, because if you live in Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, or Milan, Michigan, stores are popping up your way very, very soon. If you don't have time to go in store, you can always check them out online at jarscannabis.com. Because you know what? I know you want to get high.
Need to.
What up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and those Detroit Pistons, they lock in 41 wins. You know the significance of that? That means they can finish no lower than 500. And with 9 games left, something's telling me that the 46 is still in play, but they're definitely going to finish above 500. They're going to definitely finish, I'm calling it, in at least the 6th seed. I see you, Orlando Magic. Paolo Banchero, 4 straight 30-plus point games. And the Atlanta Hawks have continued to keep pace as well. And they've both gained a game over the last 6 or 7. But the Pistons handle your business game like they did last night. They keep themselves in with a firm grip on that 6th seed.
They're 5.5 clear of Atlanta and 6 clear of the Magic. It would take something just catastrophic, and I don't think it's going to happen.
That's what I said. We're calling it. 6 seed Pistons with an opportunity to move up. So let's get this drum roll going. Let's get the legend in here because it is time for the Woodward Pistons segment. So let's rock. Hey, yo! Shout out and welcome to the legend, Detroit News, Rod Beard. What up, though, brother? We've waited for times like this. It's been a while now, Rod Beard. A while that we've done this platform. And I'm grateful to you, man. I am so grateful to you for standing in the trenches because early on it wasn't just, some struggling Pistons basketball we had to trudge through, but you took a chance on me at the time when I was fresh to a lot of this type of stuff. So now we get to kind of see what the fruits of the labor are producing, and it's to be able to cover on this platform, amongst others, a good Detroit Pistons team. And if I'm not mistaken, man, to me, one of your top 5, 6, 7 teams in all the NBA from an efficiency standpoint since January 1. Take it away with Rod's thought.
All right, I'll do 2 things. One, I will sort of honor you because you had the idea and the foresight that this would be this, and it sounds like they won a championship. This is just getting to 500. Right. But when this team was bad, you were like, let's do more. Let's provide more content and more coverage. So this is your vision. This is your bringing me into the fold. And I said, hey, I'll help out. I'll do whatever I can. But you've really carried the weight on this. And congratulations to you, whether they win the championship or not. Now I'm going to pivot. If they win the championship, here's a vision. If they win the championship and they got the big ski goggles on and the confetti is and the champagne is all over the place, they're going to say, Cade is going to pull down his goggles and say, we couldn't have done this without KG.
You damn right. You damn right.
KG had us at 42.
Hey, I believed in them when nobody else did, or at least I gave them the motivation to go harder. You can say that.
And so you got Jalen Duren holding the trophy, and like anything is possible because of KG.
Yeah.
That's going to be my enduring takeaway from this season, that KG has spurred them to.
See, you can't even keep up with them.
Not quite 51 wins with 9 games left. They can't get to 51. This X was always through 51 wins. It wasn't going to happen.
You jinxed me, man.
You jinxed yourself.
Yeah.
You jinxed yourself.
You jinxed yourself.
The original 42 wins is going to happen.
Yes.
So this is why I wanted you to stay with your original, because it would be closer. It'd be like The Price is Right. You might go over. You're not going to win both showcases, but you'll be close. So
hey, as long as I get on the stage, right, I'm cool. I just want to spin the big wheel one time.
Hey.
So from one KG to another, anything is possible.
Damn right.
Damn right.
From one KG to another. Hey, let me hear it. You got to cut
Anything
the promo.
is possible.
Let's go. JBSmooovv, what up, though, boys? Some reason I see you over there.
I just want to say how far we have come from KG's 51 wins and now to 42. Is like, hey, you know what? Anything is possible. Things happen. KG, I got to throw my hat off to you because, hey, you pushed the Pistons to go harder as ever to get to this point. So, hey. Once they get in, they have you to thank for it. That's all I'm saying.
Kool-Aid to tell you, I said 35 early in this process. I believed in this team when a lot of people just thought, oh, if we could get to 24, that'd be great. That's a great season. I'm like, no, just because you had 14 the year before, and I think what they are showing this year is that they weren't a 14-win team last year. They were just poorly managed. And you needed to see some of your young players develop, which they are doing now. But overall, that wasn't a 14-win team last year. And I think we can all take that away, that this is a much better product that we're seeing. And it's because the people up top are finally in place and they're executing the right way.
I think Rob was about to make another sticky note.
When you look at those, when you think about those double digits, the 14, the 17, the whatever, those are kind of tanking sort of things. So if we're going to be bad, let's try to get a better pick with it too.
Right.
Here's how far they come. The pick is going to convey. They're probably not going to have a first round pick unless there's some kind of trade. But we're talking about real games that matter without K, that they're winning against bad teams, which is what they're supposed to do. This is a real team. This is like Pinocchio. I'm a real live NBA team. Of a real live NBA team that is in the playoffs and going to be playing past April 13th. This is where we are now.
This is where we are with these Detroit Pistons. And Rod, I have another question for you, and then I'm going to kick it to Flannel for a question as well. Just how serious is this team? How real is this team? Because you see NBA media, you see just the national landscape scrambling now. You're starting to hear the conversations of no longer. Remember when a couple months ago we were like, we think K might be second team All-NBA. And then I know Flannel started to introduce the idea, and we introduced our MVPs, and we had Cade at 3. And I understand how this thing is going to go, but you see the NBA world now reacting to Cade Cunningham, his star prowess, and these Detroit Pistons and everybody else that they have here. And it's almost as if every other night people are like, oh, wow, Ron Holland. Oh, sweet. The Pistons got one. Oh, wow, Marcus Sasser. Talking about even those guys and seeing what they're getting. I know the NBA account posted Ron Holland's 26-point night the other night. But just how real are these Detroit Pistons? Because whether they move up in the standings or not, they've looked very, very formidable going into these playoffs, where you just saw the Bucks. And we talked about this all year, how the Pistons were going to have an opportunity to not just take advantage of climbing up the standings based on who they are, because we know they're going to set their own standard, but also the dysfunction around them, whether it's injuries or whether it's things going on within the team. And now the Bucks, they get a huge blow with Dame Lillard now sidelined indefinitely, who he says he's going to try and make a return this season. But the Detroit Pistons, real player, as we are looking just ahead at these playoffs.
I mean, Chauncey Billups is doing a really good job with these guys, turning this thing around.
Shout out Shaq.
But at the same time, it is they've had the players. This has been there the entire time. I think part of it is the coach and having the right coaching at the right time.
Yeah.
And we've talked about having those veterans there. This is what they lack. This is your longest tenured player can't be Killian Hayes or Isaiah Stewart, and that's your vet as well. You need other guys to take on some of this weight. And we're finally starting to see all of this stuff come together. You know that it's real when ESPN is adding them toward the end of the season for nationally televised games. That's when you know. And we always talk about how the national media portrays or views the Pistons. To add them into to take somebody else out and say, hey, we got to get the Pistons and Thunder back on for a nationally televised game. Thunder might be sitting some people, but that is a showcase game where even if they're not, the Pistons can still kind of show everybody who these players are and that they're a team on the rise. I'm not going to project it the same way, but this is where the Thunder were when they really got over that hump, when those stars started to be like, oh, wait a minute, Shai Gilgeous. I got to learn how to pronounce Shai Gilgeous-Alexander because this dude is the real deal. So now them getting Chet back and all of that, all of this is the critical mass. And guess where Shai is? MVP favorite at this point. That could be Cade in that same consideration in another year or two.
I like that. He does believe Cade will be in that MVP consideration. He could be, like how we saw SGA. And I remember when SGA started to kind of take that leap. Rod, we talked about this on the show as well a couple years, and it's cool to see kind of Cade stepping into that mold as well. What up, Dolphin?
Absolutely. And I want to talk to you about potential playoff matchups because it looks like the Pistons are a mortal lot to finish no worse than the 6th seed. I know you and I have been mostly in agreement about the Milwaukee Bucks isn't the matchup that I personally would prefer, and you've mentioned it as well for yourself, because Giannis is just, he's a different animal. He's still the best player in the East. He's a multiple-time MVP, finals MVP, etc., etc., etc. But things changed a little bit. Damian Lillard.
No, they didn't.
Really? Damian Lillard. You really don't think Damian Lillard?
No, they didn't.
All right, fine. I think Damian Lillard being out's a big deal, or potentially out. Blood clots are serious. They're nothing to be effed with. Obviously, we don't know if they're going to slow play it, but I'm not saying that the Milwaukee Bucks are my ideal matchup. But well, you've already answered the question. It doesn't make a difference for you. Go ahead and elaborate. It's all good.
If you want to see Giannis score 70 points, let the Pistons play them in the playoffs. Giannis will try to score 70. Come on, man. No, I don't want to see Giannis in any way, shape, or form. With Dame, without Dame, with a hat, with a cat, with some fish, carrying a dish.
One fish, two fish.
Carrying a dish.
No, I don't want to see Giannis at all. No. Who's guarding Giannis? No, we don't have anybody. You want Tobias guarding Giannis for a series?
God, no.
Y'all trying to get Tobias and Bears.
Do not recommend Hero Stars. Nope, not about that.
No, I get it. It's just that nobody's ever won a title by themselves. And his longtime running mate, Middleton, he's obviously wasn't what he once was. He's gone. Lillard might be gone. Probably going to get Bobby Portis back. Kuzma. This is not one of Giannis's best supporting cast if Lillard's out. That's all I'm saying. I get it. Giannis isn't a problem that I think I personally want as a Pistons fan, but he could give you 40 and 20 efficiently, and the Pistons could still beat him. I'll just say that.
Denzel Washington did not have a good supporting cast in training day. Giannis don't need a
Ride you
supporting
the man.
cast. I don't even want to see it. I don't care. Nope, not for me.
Well, Ryan, I'm gonna try to be able to maybe, give you some grace on a thing that you said earlier. We've debated about K being all NBA. At first you were saying, of course, because of the writers and them just not knowing who the Pistons were, who Cade really was, and, him having to kind of take his lumps and go through the process, that they wouldn't elect him to be all NBA. Now, you have since come around and said that maybe there was a chance he can be second team all NBA. But now when you just look at where the Pistons are and where they seem to be headed, and just the play of Cade over this stretch, you saw what he did in that primetime ESPN game, the buzzer beater. Is there any chance that he can be all NBA first team?
You said I said that?
Yeah, I got it on the sticky note right here, actually. You said that you would be willing to say that he would be a second team all NBA player. Hey, we gonna address one of them other sticky notes too, because I gotta get an update on something. But
KG pulled the receipts, man.
All NBA.
Yeah.
Okay. It was like 2 weeks ago. You said that he could be second team.
I'm on the first team bandwagon now. Like, who else are you going to? He has shown the consistency of that. That is, I'm gonna give you 30. I'm gonna give you 35. I'm gonna give you a triple double. I don't think anybody else rises to that level. Again, I think some of it may be dependent on whether they finish fourth or fifth or sixth. If it's fourth, I think he gets first team. If it's fifth or sixth, it's going to be tough. I can't see anybody who's, from a logic standpoint, there's nobody better than him, but all of the other factors that I mentioned before, I think he ends up being second team unless they're the fourth seed. That's about the way that he would end up on the first team.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll just ask you a question as we're going to get prepared for our Swisher break. One question that's not on there, but I just want to ask you, Cade Cunningham, best point guard in the East? This is our layup line. We get warmed up. Yes. Flannel Sam. I know how you feel, but we still, man, we'll put the ball on the tee.
Yes.
Absolutely, man. And KG, how you feeling as we getting prepared to enter our Swisher break?
Bro, it's not even close. He's the best guard in the East. I don't want to hear nobody else's name. This is the Cade show right now.
And even though we knew the trajectory was there, is it surprising to anybody how quickly it's arrived? Like, just within this space of this year, seeing how crazy things were last year. Like, it's interesting to me that these young players were able to keep that mental fortitude throughout the entire process. And something tells me, like, I don't know why, Rod, but remember what they said about Dwayne Casey when he was a coach. I remember what they were saying about him when they were effectively saying, hey, he's stepping down from coach, but he's going to the front office. And they talked about, all the players talked about the things that Dwayne Casey was to them, more personable. And they kept them within the organization. And you look at the mental fortitude of these players throughout, Monty Williams' tenure, and I do sometimes wonder some of the roles that these people in the development staff were able to play to keep this young team intact and together mentally, and make sure that they have what they need to move forward. Because with JB Bickerstaff and just the right mix of vets, it just seems like this thing is absolutely from 14 wins last year to now sitting at 41 wins, Rob Beard.
But what did we say that Cade needed? And I've banged the table on this. Cade needs a 40% three-point shooter with him to be his most effective. He needs another big scorer. He needs a pick-and-roll threat who's a rim runner and a dominant post presence. Jalen Duren averaging a double-double?
Listen.
I mean, maybe.
Listen, but maybe. if you look at his play over the last 2 weeks, and I say he is the number 2 right now on this Pistons team. Ivy's not around right now. I'm just saying. But when you look at his play, though, you don't think there's any argument at all that Jalen Duren, as of right now, is the number 2 option on this team currently. I mean, not technically. You do look to get Malik Beasley involved, but I'm just mean like in terms of everything that he does on the floor. If he goes out there and has an off night, you probably lose. You can survive a Malik Beasley bad shooting night, but if Duren doesn't give you what he's giving you lately, then the Pistons most likely lose that game.
What I'll level with you is I still have Beasley personally as that 2, but what we see Jalen Duren doing right now and having the space to even develop, because he wasn't on point the full season, and the Pistons still, after that 0-4 start, were still one of the better teams. We saw them climb up the ranks, Tennessee, 9th seed, 8th seed, while he was still figuring things out. Then when he did figure things out, we saw it help to ignite. And I liken it to the Andre Drummond years, where do you have a player that you can put, you can expect him to go out there and put up stats that can make him look like a 2 or 3. But in reality, if you have a good 2 or 3, then Jalen Duren becomes this absolute kind of gasoline on a fire. That's what I think we're seeing right now. So it's like if you have your number 2 scoring option, I still believe in terms of impact is where I kind of lean more towards what you're saying.
Yeah, that's more impact. So what I mean, because clearly he's not a number 2 scoring option.
Defensively, offensively, he's facilitating. And I like what Jalen Duren is bringing to the table, obviously. And it all stemmed from him saying people around him, and including his own assessment, he realized he was playing soft.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Drummond wasn't this. Drummond couldn't put the ball on the floor. Drummond wasn't playing the type of defense that, not for real. I mean, not for real,
back
bro.
And look at Drummond's stats, man.
I'm just saying,
I think Jalen is a better prospect overall, but I can't, man. Drummond reached All-NBA and All-Star status.
I realize that, but it's mostly because of rebounds.
The way people talk about Drummond, you think he averaged 5 and 5.
Stocks. He was one of your best bigs in the league with stocks, and he was one of the only bigs in the top 10 overall in the NBA in steals. And a lot of people let that go. When you look at his defensive rating and efficiency, if you like the numbers, Andre Drummond was, in my opinion, he was just underrated. But I do believe Jalen Duren as a player,
he can be better.
He's overall offensively is where he has, to me, the ability to really, really bypass who an Andre Drummond was here, because he just has that feel. And if he adds what you were talking about, that McDice, that 16-footer, that pick and pop, I think the sky's the limit for a Jalen Duren. Absolutely.
And I think it's fair to say too that at this age, Duren is 20, and when Drummond is 20, Duren is a little bit more polished in where he is. Drummond didn't really figure it out until a few years into his NBA career, and it seems like pairing with Cade now, Duren is going to.
It was a long time, man, and they didn't know what they wanted to do with Andre Drummond. And we talk about the health of the organization right now that a guy like a Jalen Duren was able to enter into. A guy like a Ron Holland, or like Rod, can you imagine if Ron Holland was drafted 3 or 4 years ago? But you see these players now in this situation underneath the JB Bickerstaff in a much better, I think, working for them as it relates to development situation. And we're seeing these players coming along at their pace. We see them improving in ways that we were hoping. I see life. I have hope that Asar Thompson and Ron Holland, will be serviceable three-point shooters in this league. And we see them make small and incremental jumps. We see them working on it and practicing on it. And the organization, what did they do? Before they even hired the head coach, Trajan Langdon said, "Hey, Fred Vincent, I need you up here." And so that's the attention and detail that this organization is paying right now, that is going to put these players in a much better position than prior ones. We think about this, right? Budget Duren and budget Asar and budget Ron Holland would be, right, Andre Drummond and Stanley Johnson.
Yeah.
And those guys, they came with all the tools in the bag. But for some reason, the organization just could not figure out a way to get them over the hump. And the one thing that you don't question with any of these current players is their motor. And that's one thing, no matter what you feel about Andre Drummond or not, or any of these other players, it was their motor, their will to assess, their will to say, you know what, I got to get better. Because that's what we heard Duren step to the table and say.
Yeah.
And I do believe that that's a lot of what's kind of underpinning the success for these young guys and why they're going to be approached. I think Jalen Duren and Asar Thompson are going to approach stardom.
Yeah, and he turned into a whole different player after he said that. Just imagine if Drummond were able to tell you, hey, I'm not playing up to my offensive capabilities, and then he turned into what Jalen Duren is doing right now.
It took him too long to admit that.
Yeah,
it took him well after his Pistons years to admit that, and that's just – it's too late. But they didn't – I don't think they had the right structure. I know, Rod, you were covering some of those teams, and just, what do you see in terms of the difference in structure today versus during that era where I think they had some good prospects. They didn't make all the right picks, but I don't know how much they were actually helped.
Yeah, it was circumstantial with them because the Reggie Jackson injury sort of ate away at a year and a half of that team.
That's right.
Forgot about that.
You had Blake, and his All-NBA season was with Dre. I mean, you actually had Reggie, D. Rose, Blake, and Dre for kind of part of it. Just injuries and circumstances and everything else just really just didn't make that work out the way that it could have. And they were going for it. That is the Stan Van Gundy into the Dwayne Casey era. They were going for it, and they were around a 500 team, which this team is now. But they had all-stars and a bloated cap that they just couldn't add very much more because you were still dealing with Tobias was here before that, but then left with the Blake thing. You just had players that didn't really fit that you had to overpay for because you were trying to make a run. That's Langston Galloway. That is
oh God.
Langston Galloway.
And LG was a 40% shooter, but then you went and got John Lure, and maybe you overpaid a little bit for John Lure because you thought you were right there and you needed a flex perimeter four. So that was one construction of it that just didn't turn out the way that they wanted. And when you committed to all of those contracts, you were locked into that. When you look at the cap sheet now, it's so much cleaner. They're not locked into anybody except for Cade. Really long term like that, you're going to pay Duran, you're going to pay all of your young guys. Stewart's on a very manageable deal. So the cap sheet looks a whole lot different. But when they went and got Blake, they pushed all of the chips they had into the middle of the table to say this has to work with Blake. Wonderful year for him, all NBA year.
Yeah.
But it can happen still. You can get an all NBA guy without flexing your cap that way.
Dang. You know what? Let's get into a couple of these swish or break.
Yeah, you got some fire, man.
Hey, swish or brick, swish or break. Let's get that graphic going. Now it's officially time.
Oh, yes.
I see Fen over there. He's stretching. He's getting warmed up right now. He's getting ready.
Worried about some of these questions. Some of them really stump me, but we'll see.
Yeah, no.
Let's go, KG.
Yeah, no. This all Kool-Aid this weekend. He got some fire in here, so we will start with this one. JB Bickerstaff is the Pistons' best coach since Larry Brown. Swish or brick?
And I know it's a short.
Yeah, Kool-Aid trying to get like your boy. You know, I like to make y'all think. I like to make y'all put them thinking caps on.
Hey, you guys already know, man. Hey, listen, if you got a good team around you, hey, support them, pick up the best from them, and do work. That's what I see out of these Pistons right now. And JB Bickerstaff has instilled that in this squad, much in the same manner that you saw Larry Brown kind of curate the last portion of what you need out of those Pistons. But since then, we've had some decent coaches, but it has been a graveyard ride beer from Custer to Mo Cheeks.
We've had one decent coach, and it was Stan Van Gundy. That was it. But I'm not rocking. But you,
what up?
I was just saying, speaking of graveyard, RIP Flip Saunders.
Oh, damn. Okay.
What? Speaking of graveyard?
Yeah, the transition was crazy. That's all I'm saying.
RIP.
Yeah, RIP for sure.
But listen, JB Bickerstaff, we know what he's done with the team currently that's sitting up atop these Eastern Conference standings with the Cavaliers. And he had a lot to do with that, turning them from afterthought into a powerhouse in the East. And now it looks like he's done the same with the Pistons. Is he their best coach since Larry Brown, Flannel Sam? I see you over there breathing,
This
bro.
a layup, bro.
Brick, I still got to go Flip Saunders. I still got to go Flip Saunders.
He inherited a championship team.
Okay, but everybody here, I don't want to get into it too much because we all know how I feel about Ben Wallace, but two of those teams that Flip Saunders took to the conference finals, Ben Wallace was gone. If JB Bickerstaff...
That's a huge...
I hear you.
That is
he did have a higher winning percentage than Larry Brown.
Huh?
He did. Flip Saunders
But
does
he
have a higher
didn't get
winning
it
percentage than Larry Brown.
done. He didn't get it done.
Okay, fine, but...
Flip is the only contender, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and
that's it.
Of course, and JB Bickerstaff, if they win a playoff series this year, I'll full on be like JB. And I love what JB Bickerstaff has done, but right now, I still got to go with Flip Saunders. People treat him like he was just a slightly better Monty. He was a damn good coach. He just wasn't Larry Brown.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Just keep saying it.
Just keep saying R.I.P.
JB Smooth?
R.I.P. Flip Saunders, but I'm gonna be real. There's no need to waste too much time on this. JB Bickersmooth, you've been my guy since day one. Yes, you are the best coach the Pistons have had since Larry Brown. That's it. Just enough said.
Cavassier Chase.
I already said my coach. It's Flip Saunders. I had to honor the respect the dead.
Willie B. Will B with the thing.
Oh my god.
KG, what up?
Nah, and like to me, this is a layup, man. And the only Flip Saunders is an argument, but overall, just considering what he inherited and what ended up happening, it is what it is, man. But he would be probably the closest argument. Other arguments you can make is SVG and Dwayne Casey, but overall, yes, JB Bickerstaff is absolutely the best coach since Larry Brown, at least to me.
Hey, and you know what, Rod Beard? Before we go to you, let me see here what's in this chat. I see Matthew Kruger. He put airball. Polo Boy says big brick. Let me see here. Hey, Polo Boy also says Ben was the man. AC says he doesn't think it was Flip. And Wheezy D, what was Mo Cheeks' middle name now? I don't even understand what that was.
Right.
I don't even want to step into that one.
Yeah,
but Rod
let's leave
Beard,
that one alone.
What say you?
Shout out Mo Cheeks, man.
John Lawyer has entered the chat.
John Lawyer!
It's Edwards, Maurice Edwards.
Oh my God, it was some disaster coaches. Custer, like, oh my God, it was bad.
John Lawyer,
No,
you
I
pulled a
think
name.
I think it's flipped because even if you inherit a team, you still have to do something with it. And Nick Nurse inherited a team, but he also inherited Kawhi Leonard and took that to a championship. But then what did he do after that? You can inherit a team.
He
but
got
you still
one.
Take that team.
05 should have been ours. I'm sorry,
big
man.
Facts. Big facts. Okay, big facts on that. But the consistency to maintain that with that team, it's hard to take a good team and to make them better and to continue going to the conference final. I'll say flip.
Hey, flip for Rod. And you know what? That was a good one, man. That was a good one. And it was dope pulling Flip Saunders as well, because that's the one in contention, but it really puts in contrast just how
John Lawyer.
really puts in contrast just how good JB Bickerstaff is already. So, hey, let's get to that next
one. I keep getting told in the chat that Flip Saunders was basically slightly better than John Custer and Monty Williams.
Yeah, Flip Saunders was that deal.
Yeah,
Look at the chat. People act like he was awful.
And you're right, to win without
They
Ben
need
Wallace.
to take a chill pill too. We already decided they need a chill pill and a seat in the corner.
It's Swisher break, people.
Right.
Partake.
Hey, listen, I like this. I'm partaking right after this show. Y'all stressing me out of here. Ron Holland should, all caps, should make all rookie or an NBA all rookie team. Swisher break.
Hey, listen, man. They better quit playing my dog, Ron Holland. You guys see exactly what he's doing right now. Flannel Sam has been consistent with making sure you guys understand his per 36 numbers, and you see the effects right now. He gets a little bit more time. He goes out there and he blows really those per 36 minutes away. But shout out to Ron Holland, who's done it on both ends of the court, and his coaches and his teammates have credited him and attributed a lot of their bursts of energy, especially off the bench, their hustle, their motor, the fact that he just goes out there and creates his own offense by getting the rebound or the deflection or the steal in transition and taking it the length of the court. And you look at this draft class and how things are shaking out. I do agree with Zachary Sachet at the top of this thing. Modest but zealous is very impressive to me. But what Ron Holland has done, they can't make the mistake again. Snubbed him, in my opinion, from Rising Stars, but I get it. The impact had to be a little bit more at that point in time. But right now, I believe it is on full display. Got to go with you, Flannel Sam. It's going to be tough.
It is going to be tough because he definitely, I would say, should. Because when you look at, I just pulled up the odds right now. One way in which I've distinguished Ron Holland is he plays his role in a great way that helps the Pistons win. He's one of those good team rookies. And when you look at the good team rookies, you can point to Jalen Wells and Zach Edey of the Grizzlies. You can even point to Dalton Connect on the Lakers. I think that Ron Holland would be about the last member of the all-rookie second team, but he should make it. It might be by the skin of his teeth, but I think he should make it.
Hey, what up, though, JBSmooovv?
I think this one's an easy layup for me, man. This is an easy swish. I think I was in a camp with Kool-Aid, with Flannel as well back when it was draft day. I wasn't exactly sold on Ron Holland, but as of right now, to this day, I changed my opinion. I am completely sold on this man. The man has potential, and he's making his own way in the Detroit Pistons locker room and on this team. So this is an easy layup for me.
Hey, what up, though, Kavasi Chase?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's a swish. I think basketball is probably I pay like the least attention to as far as like when it comes to like the draft and stuff like that. So you know, like I kind of just ride your guys' coattails a little bit with that. What's Will say?
Yeah.
Willie
is crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
no, basketball's not my favorite sport, so I don't pay as much attention to it. But yeah, I mean, I always am someone who falls for the potential of all the draft picks.
See what y'all started. First sticky notes, and now we got dry.
Now we got right. The whiteboard is next. Nah, man.
I see Rod over there deliberating. What up, though, KG?
Nah, this is a swish because there is two all-rookie teams, and first team is debatable just because the media narratives around the Pistons they haven't necessarily caught up yet. So Ryan might not make first team as opposed to, like a Stephon Castle or somebody. But second team should be a layup. And when you think back to Isaiah Stewart, he was an all-rookie second team player, pretty much doing what Ron Holland, like you said, a good team rookie, pretty much doing what Ron Holland is giving or doing for the Pistons right now. So that's a switch for me. He should make second team.
Definitely. Rod Beard, what say yes? See some swishes in the chat. See some support for one Ron Holland. I see you. Crush the dreams, Rod Beard.
Look at him.
This is a wedgie. This isn't even a brick. This is a wedgie.
Here you go.
He called it a wedgie.
You said the same thing about Cade. Then 2 weeks later, he could be second team.
I feel good about this one. If you didn't write it down, it didn't happen. So you got to put this on the hold.
You know what? You're right. You're right. You got me on that one.
This is a wedgie because who votes on all rookie teams? The media.
Yeah.
How many media are paying attention to this rookie class at all? They're going to struggle with the first team.
No, that's
with the second
real.
team. They might go in alphabetical order of just.
He's gonna go alphabetical.
Ronnie James, bam, there you go.
Hey, ChatGPT, tell me 5 other rookies in this class, and they're just gonna put them in there. That's how the second team is gonna go. This is a wedgie all the way.
You know what? He's right on that.
Yeah.
Ron Holland, make some noise, man. You got 9 games left. They flexing y'all. You guys got a chance to knock off the Bucks twice. Make some noise out there. Let's do one more, and we'll wrap up.
This weak-ass rookie class. You can't tell me. Ryan can get on the all-rookie team,
It's a very
man.
weak rookie
It's
class.
very weak. But anyway. Let's see here. Pistons. And this is one of my other sticky notes we're going to revisit. Pistons should sweep 3 postseason awards, swish, or brick.
We're going to continue this.
Now, Kool-Aid wrote this one. Kool-Aid wrote this one, not me.
We're gonna continue to check in. 9 games left. They have an opportunity, all of them. JB Bickerstaff for Coach of the Year, Cade Cunningham, Most Improved, which I still think is weird, and Malik Beasley for 6th Man of the Year. I see you over there, Flannel Sam. What are you deliberating?
You know how I feel about this.
I do.
Coach JB Bickerstaff, I think he should be Coach of the Year. I think as of right now, even though he's cooled off a tad, I would still put Malik Beasley as the 6th Man of the Year. Most Improved Player, I think, it should not be Cade Cunningham because I think he was already here to some extent last year. That's what I've always said. I think it should be Norman Powell, somebody who actually had a prodigious improvement. And don't get me wrong, Cade has improved some of the the nuances of his game, but to give him Most Improved Player will imply that he didn't arrive until this year. And that narrative is something that makes my skin crawl. So I want JB Coach of the Year, Beasley as a 6th man, and Norman Powell as Most Improved Player.
Hey, what up, though, JBSmooovv?
This is a brick for me. I think you'll get 2 out of the 3. As Flannel said, JB Coach of the Year, and Malik Beasley 6th man. That's about it.
Cavassier Chase, they sweeping the awards?
I mean, I'd like them to, but I don't think they will. So
Yeah. Hey,
pretty simple.
Will.
Right.
If y'all can see his face too, dog, his emotions, man. Hey, KG, what up, though, brother?
And y'all know how I feel about this. I'm gonna go swish, but Sam, I do agree with you. I really do. But I just think that Most Improved award, that to me is the NBA giving they respect finally. They finally coming around and realizing, like, okay, Cade is the man. Like, like you said, he's been the man to a certain degree, but I just want him to actually have an award that's solely his, that the NBA recognizes as, okay, he's one of those guys. He's on the come up. He's a future star in this league, or future superstar, should I say. But I think 2 out of the 3 awards are a lock. Most Improved is a lock for Cade. Coach of the Year is a lock for JB Bickerstaff. It's just the Malik Beasley. Does he get 6th Man of the Year? I think it's a good chance if you just break down his whole entire body of work and just how he's impacted this Pistons team to this point. I think it's very hard to argue that he's not 6th Man of the Year.
One caveat that I want to give is I don't think Norman Powell will be eligible for postseason awards because he's only played 50 games. He's not listed on any odds, but I'll give you another name, Dyson Daniels. I'll give you Dyson Daniels.
He's been tough. I've tried to,
just give
razz
Cade
on
the
him
award,
because
bro.
the Hawks fans tried to say he was a Cade stopper.
Oh, he's not, but
And
he's really
absolutely
good.
not.
Yeah.
And when I said he ain't no Cade stopper, the Hawks fans tried to get at me, and this was when at the time they were a little bit ahead of us. I haven't heard from them since then.
Yeah.
Shout out Dyson Daniels. So I actually do kind of agree with that. He's one of those players in the league, like how I used to feel about Triple J with the Grizzlies. Dyson Daniels is one of those. Just get him in a Detroit Pistons uniform.
Oh.
He just freaking fits, man.
I big fan of his game.
They're not going to.
Big fan of his
They're
game.
not letting him go.
No.
Nor
should they. Nor should
right. They be smart tonight.
What say ye, Rod Beard?
Let me introduce you guys to Boston Bias, who will make Peyton Pritchard the sixth man of the year. And so there's no way it's a trifecta. And KG, if you understand how three-leg parlays work, you can't say two of these are a lock and the other one it might not happen. If it's a three-leg parlay, all three of them have to happen.
No, you're right. You're right.
So, I mean, we can look at one of these sports books and see what the odds are on the three-leg, and you can do the whole thing. I got 5 on that. We in Swisher break. I got 5 on the parlay if y'all gonna do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with it. But, I mean, Peyton Pritchard is on a championship team, a very loaded championship team. And I do understand, but to me, the body of work just screams Malik Beasley, and the impact he's had on this Pistons team should give him the sixth man of the year, because that's the most debatable award out of the three. But I do get what you're saying. The national media, we already know they're not really paying attention to Pistons basketball. I don't think that's right, though. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it's right.
But it is the factor. And that's one of the things, like, kind of going through this media journey, and I know there's several of us. We had a powwow over All-Star break, man. Mike Curtis, Cody Davis, myself, and even others, man, who've had the run-in with you or worked with you or worked alongside you at some of these other events. And we just talked about just how prepared we felt for that moment, because a lot of the things that you had already discussed. And it was also cool to know that there were certain questions we knew to ask that other people in media there didn't about Cade Cunningham and these Pistons. And it's because of a lot of the preparation and work, you've kind of set us into a certain path. And among other people, we got the legend Terry Foster over here too, who's helped a lot of us in that same lane. So thank you, Rod Beard. Now, like I always tell people, when we do the drum roll, I've promised to make that as consistent as I can, to be able to honor who you are and who you've been to the platform. And it's been a Swisher break.
Oh, it was fun.
I appreciate that. I got a new one.
Too much
I got a new one.
Hey, Ryan, I'm holding you responsible for that. You part of the media, bro. You supposed to be in there fighting our battles for us.
I don't vote anymore. I don't vote.
I don't vote anymore.
I think Omari
Sankofa, yeah, shout out to him.
I think he has the Detroit vote. I think.
Yeah.
So
shout out to Omari.
Yeah, friend of the show.
Yep. Shout out to Omar, man. I love the room. That was one thing Rod told me. He was like, hey, man, there's no beef and competition down there. Like, you're going to be comfortable. Everybody supports everybody, and we like to see each other's success. And that's all I've experienced. And a shout out as well to Vinny Goodwill. Gave me a lot of good advice, and Eric Woodward at the last couple games. So just overall good vibes right now. It's amazing.
Detroit Pistons beat is the blackest beat in the NBA by far.
I love it.
By far, man. And it's been an awesome time. Also, again, shout out to Big Sean. I know it was his birthday yesterday. The Pistons showed out for him last night. They even honored his mom, too. So shout out to the Pistons. And not just that. There's sometimes when you see stuff like this and the crowd's a little sparse. Rod, the crowd was honestly at full attention and at full decibels, making sure to shower love on one of Detroit's own and Big Sean. And I think it's a testament to, honestly, where we are right now, as well as the vibes that the Pistons are giving the city. It's an awesome time right now to be a Pistons fan.
No, I think it's going to be, when they make the playoffs and they have a home game, if the weather cooperates, and they have a watch party or something in that plaza outside of
Chevy
LCA.
Plaza.
They've never been able to use that. Never. If the weather cooperates, that is going to be a tremendous vibe outside. So that's what I'm waiting to see. I don't care who the opponent is. I mean, as long as it's not Milwaukee, man. I am not for Giannis feeling like he got to carry the entire thing and everybody on his back. I do not like 0 stars. Do not recommend. No.
I kind of want Broadway Cade, and as we've seen the way that this end of season has kind of shaken out, you can have your couple MVP candidates, but I feel like Cade has moved ahead a couple of those guys in New York.
Yeah.
I just do. And that's to a testament of the type of impact he can have on the game as an individual player. but he uses all of that to better set up his team. So it's going to be interesting into the season. This was a fire segment, and it was dope to have Rod Beard on for both segments. Answered a lot of questions, brought the heat as he always does, and the camaraderie was on one. And Rod, they want you in studio for a show.
Oh, Rod, don't mess with us like that.
Let's make it happen.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, Rod, don't work. He don't rock with us like that.
No, I still. We're gonna make it happen. We'll do, and we'll reprise pizza. I remember we had our initial meeting here over pizza. We'll definitely make sure you take care of it.
I do remember that.
It was
right.
epic,
Shout
man.
out, buddies, man. We gonna take care of you. Hey, bring the sticky notes with you.
That's gonna be dog. We got an epic day planned.
Bring them with you. Take them on the road.
Shout out to the legend.
I got you.
Thank you, Rod Beard, Detroit News sports editor-in-chief. Overall, good person, great professional. Thank you, Rod Beard, for your time.
Thank you, Rod.
All right.
Thank you, Rod.
Have a good week, guys.
Hey, let's have a good weekend. You know what? I know we got to catch up on some sponsors and our friends. JB, what do you want us to do here as we take a quick break?
Lady Jane's and Dr. Pierce.
Oh, Lady Jane's, one of my favorites. You guys already know that, because at Lady Jane's, they take the chore out of getting a haircut. Our talented stylists will deliver an industry-leading haircut, a relaxing scalp massage. My favorite, the hot lather neck shave, the hot towel treatment. Even if you want braids, just ask Chase.
Right?
They got it all over here at Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It is wicked awesome.
It's brother friendly.
Attention, sports fans. Don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday on Big D Energy, every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards, where he's offering you top-notch injury advice. So you guys got to trust the day you guys got to trust the guy that D-Mac trusts, because it is D-Mac Day especially. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game, performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Woodward Sports is live in downtown Detroit for Tigers opening day.
This one's blasted out toward the bullpen.
Live from the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House.
Way back, forget it. Out of here.
Brought to you by White Claw.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Buddy's Pizza has been serving the original Detroit-style pizza since 1946. 79 years later, they have 22 locations in the state of Michigan, and fans can still visit where it all began on the corner of 6 Mile and Conant. Sign up for Buddy's Rewards, earn points on every purchase, and receive exclusive promotions. Download the Buddy's Pizza mobile app and start earning today. Add some Detroit style to your next meal and save 10% off your order using promo code 10meal. That's the number 10, so 10 MEAL. Buddy'sPizza.com.
Hey, and Les Stanford Buick and GMC has great offers for everyone. Get a 2024 Envision AVE NIR for only $299 per month. Or try out
2025 GMC Sierra Crew Cab.
Or try out the 2025 Sierra Crew Cab Elevation for only $229 per month. Don't forget about the 2025 Hummer EV SUV for only $799 per month. Get to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick and GMC, lesstanford.com.
Hey, what up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. It's been a fire show. We got to talk about really all of our sports teams today. and we got to feature and honor one Darren McCarty, and it's not going to stop. It's an all-day affair. The jersey giveaway is live on socials. Be following right now. We got it up on X. We have it on Instagram. You can win a signed D-Mac jersey. We also have 4 hockey pucks, 4 shows today. You guys will have an opportunity. Stay tapped in with all the shows. Celebrate D-Mac to walk away with one of these signed pucks. You must be able to get here in studio, and we'll make sure that you get to be able to meet D-Mac as well. Get that picture, get your signed hockey puck, and be able to enjoy even more of that fight night at the Joe and have a little piece of history from that. So shout out to D-Mac. And I know, Kavasi Chase, you got a couple questions prepared?
Oh, yeah.
Or at least one. You know what?
You can pick whatever one you want to do. I mean,
pick either one?
Yeah, I like just looked one up and then I kind of like put my own flavor on it.
Hey, you know what? I'll let you pick which one you like. Ask the question, and chat family, this is how we're going to try and pick our winner. So make sure that you guys are putting the answers in the chat, and if nobody gets it, we'll pick whoever comes the closest.
All right, well, Darren McCarty, known Red Wings enforcer, also, got a lot of success in the playoffs. Also served a lot of penalty minutes in his career. So as a Detroit Red Wing, how many career postseason penalty minutes did Darren McCarty serve? Go ahead and drop your answers in the chat. And then, so just with the Red Wings, just as
postseason. Kill some time.
Yep, and you said how many postseason penalty minutes did D-Mac serve in his career?
With the Red Wings. Yeah.
Dope. Hey, chat family, let's get those answers in to the chat. Hey, Chase, and keep your eyes on the chat to see if anybody gets in. You got some time here.
And to kill some time, it has been asked in the chat, Flannel Sam. The people want to follow up from yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
you got to beat the accusation.
You guys were brutal on beating
because
me,
if you didn't tune into Big D Energy, KG brought it up in the RIP segment, and then we did a little more digging on this gentleman's profile, and it turns out the one mutual is a dude that sits on this desk and wears a flannel every day.
Oh shit!
And I asked Flannel, you said that you must have followed him a long time ago.
Come on, Flannel.
What did I? No, he's just. I've seen him comment on some of the
he?
YouTube videos. I have no idea.
Who is he to you?
Who is this man?
He's I've noticed from the YouTube comments that he's kind of a flannel bot, and I appreciate that.
A flannel
He usually agrees with me more than most, but what you did on Sticks.
We've addressed that. We want to know your correlation with this gentleman.
Did you orchestrate the attack? Yes or no?
Obviously not.
Did you put out the red hit?
Obviously, we had a chance to hash it out in person. I don't need to go like burners and stuff,
I'm so mad at the soundtrack.
Yeah.
In a world divided.
So you said you have known him for a while.
I don't know him actually.
So this is a random fan that followed you, and you followed him back.
Probably.
How many people do you follow?
Let me look it up actually.
Because I'm assuming it's a pretty exclusive club.
Daddy
right?
G said that Flannel is a flagship station spy.
Okay.
Lions flagship station.
Been here for a long time. I've gotten a lot of good intel, I guess. I follow.
Flannel is not looking good.
Almost 1,400. So it's not super exclusive.
Xavier D says CIA Sam.
Right. He a mole, bro.
Can you explain the correlation?
I can't. All I can say to that guy is that was not writing like a novel on Stick's wife's page. That's not cool, man. That's not cool.
He took that down. He set his profile to private now, and then he also commented on a Woodward Sports post and tagged me in it.
Really?
So at least he took it to Woodward Sports, which
why did you do that before? That's what I want to know.
That don't make sense to me.
And also, my profile's public. You can just send me a DM.
But Sam, if that was your burner, I mean, it would kind of make sense. You take that down and point to Woodward, man, trying to cover your tracks a little bit.
KG, it would make more sense if me and Stick hadn't hashed it out in person a couple hours, not hours earlier, like a day earlier.
Flannel
Sam got assets he can activate.
No, listen, Flannel Sam is somebody that watches professional wrestling and professional wrestling storylines. I'm here to tell you that you can orchestrate the attack and still do what you did.
My man, I Matrix style send the agents out, dog.
Yeah, I'm just saying. We got a wrestling story.
I realize now that there are some who will never believe, who will continue to believe what they want, and I can't help any of you.
I tried to defend you, but the evidence is damning.
I don't think you did, KG.
It's damning. The evidence is damning. is all
I feel like
saying.
you were like the lead attacker yesterday, and that's fine.
I'm
That's
just
fine.
trying to figure.
That's fine.
I'm trying to get to the truth. That's all, man.
I'm
That's
not
all.
mad. It's just
We're trying to drill down here.
We got to figure this out.
Oh my God. On have your teammates back day. Shout out D-Man.
Judas.
You're right. Oh my God.
Cavassier.
Xavier D, MK Ultra at work here. That's funny.
Yeah. Just
I
saying,
did
man.
it for flannel.
Right.
I did it for
Rikishi
flannel
voice.
Sam.
I swear. It's a fucking wrestling storyline if I ever see one, man.
I did it for Flannel Sam. I would buy that shirt.
Right.
I would. Oh, hey, Cavassier, have you seen anybody who's come the closest without?
Oh, yeah, I
going
haven't
over?
seen a right answer, but I definitely see someone who's the closest so far. So, I mean, if we just want to call it on that, it's up to you guys.
You know what? I'll give you guys 5 seconds. Get those guesses in, and you get a chance to walk away with one of these signed Darren McCarty pucks. 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're calling it. Who you got in the chat, man? Who's
Well,
our
the
lucky winner?
closest guess that I saw was from an Andrew Boudreau with 208 penalty minutes, and that's only 5 off. It's 213 career. He has 228 in his postseason career, but he does have one season under his belt with the Calgary Flames, and he did serve 15 penalty minutes in that postseason with them. So you got to subtract 15 out of the 228. That's where you get down to 213 career postseason penalty minutes Darren McCarty has served as a Detroit Red Wing. Andrew Boudreau with 208, his guess was the closest. Without going over, mind you, Price is Right rules, RIP Bob Barker. And,
Yeah.
so he would be the winner of one of the 4 pucks that we have signed by DMAC in honor of Turtle Day.
And who was that winner once again?
Andrew Boudreau.
Shout out.
Andrew Boudreau.
Shout out.
Email me, Kool-Aid@woodwardsports.com, so we can definitely coordinate getting you here, being able to meet Darren McCarty, taking some pictures, and just being able to have some conversation, and going home with a signed Darren McCarty puck to commemorate Fight Night at the Joe, man. It's Turtle Day. Shout out to the legend Darren McCarty.
Shout out.
And congratulations. So once again, email me, Kool-Aid@woodwardsports.com, and we will make sure that you are taken care of. If we can note that as well, JB or Chase. Just want to make sure of that name.
Tagged him in the chat, so you should be able to see his name and stuff.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. All right, is that a show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get up out of here, man.
Break it down, man.
Break it down.
Let me go over here and get the basketball so we can throw this chest pass. But it's been a show. It's been Wake Up Woodward. Hey, we even this guy over here, Pros Pro. No audio on with the Rod Beer segment, but you still handled it pretty well, Flannel Sam.
Hey, got to be a pro. Pros pro. That's what they call me. I don't think they do, but they should.
Shout out to the legend.
I don't think they do, but they should.
George Blah. Hey, let's go get that chest pass. Hey, it's been Wake Up Woodward Chat family. You guys have been on one. I'm gonna ask you guys, if you haven't, go ahead and smash that like button before we shut down the show. But the support, the conversation, you guys being in the chat has been epic. And you guys make sure you're supporting DMAC. If you have any memories and moments, make sure you're throwing them into the Woodward Sports chat. Make sure you're posting them about it on socials, and tap in because we got the signed Darren McCarty jersey that is live on Twitter, on X, and Instagram right now. So go and be a part of it. You get an opportunity to win all day long here on Woodward Sports, celebrating DMAC Day, Fight Night at the Joe. Shout out to our brother Matthew Broder. Shout out to that dude Justin, working hard for us. I know you want to be in the building soon. Continue to crush school, brother. We got to see you, Stick. Shout out to Stick, man. We got two false.
I'm so mad at Justin right now.
Willie B.
No, I'm not mad at Justin.
I know.
I'm mad at his, what do they call him in college? Advisors.
The advisors.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, 6 months time added on.
Yeah,
6 months time.
Damn.
It's a prison
They got my
sentence.
mans, dog.
You go to
Free
college,
Justin,
you get a job.
dog.
He got a job as soon as he's out of college.
Man.
So why?
It's always right when you're about to get out.
Oh,
Right then. Oh, wait, we want a little bit more money.
Free Justin, bro. God
But he's
damn.
crushing, and I'm glad that he's staying dedicated to
But
it.
those
Just
advisors should be fired, right? Like, you're fucking up someone's life.
it was like, we need him in the studio.
Well,
I get it.
that was part of the plan, the summer plan.
Shout out to Justin, man. And you know what? Another one of those guys. Cavassier Chase in the building, man. What up, though, brother?
Hey, what up, though? Happy Turtle Day, everybody. Hope you guys have a good one. Stay tapped in. We got, the legend on, Big D Energy coming up in about 55 and some change minutes. So, shout out to DMAC. And shout out to everyone else in the chat. Shout out Andrew. Congrats on winning that puck, man. Hope you have a good one. Hope you guys stay tapped in throughout, not just Big D Energy, but heavyweights, E&E, and stay tuned into Woodward Sports for all of your Detroit sports coverage. So shout out my dad, and I hope you guys have a good one.
Hey, shout out. Hey, this elite booth, we starting the sound booth. Detroit's #1 draft pick, that is KG, aka Black Hollywood, Rookie of the Year, MVP. You're definitely sweeping your parlays this year.
Hey, man, I do what I can, man. I do what I can. But shout out to everybody that joined us today on the show. We absolutely appreciate you. Shout out to my team. I love y'all, man. Let's keep doing this, and let's keep it rolling, bro.
And we got WUW Sports MVP in the TD booth. That is JBSmooovv. It's a victory show, man. Did move it up, though, brother?
T-Toss.
Yo,
T-Toss.
what's going on? In the T-Toss booth,
T-Toss.
once again, stick over here with me. Happy Turtle Day. Shout out to D-Mac.
Free
once
Justin.
again. As KG said, free Justin, free juices. We need
free juices.
We need those T-shirts ASAP. And always remember, I did it for flannel.
You're right.
I did it for flannel, Sam.
My man didn't beat the accusations, man.
Hey, listen, the vet of the squad, the vet of the network, the MK Ultra agent of the network. That's our guy, Flannel Sam. What up, though, brother?
John Wilkes Booth of the network.
Damn, I'm a Lincoln murderer now.
Were you on the grassy
Hey,
knoll?
Lee
Yes
Harvey
or no?
Oswald was innocent. Innocent.
Yeah, so are you apparently, right?
Right.
Oh, hey, I guess I am Lee Harvey Oswald.
They shot his
Neither of
ass
us
like
did
he
it.
wasn't, so.
Jack Ruby shot him.
Yeah, no, that whole shit is crazy. If you
How
actually
bad do
look
you
into
feel
it.
right now, Jack Ruby? Well, he's dead, but probably down there. But
The man who shot the man who shot
The man who shot the man.
But call me a sicko, but all of the teams that the Red Wings need to continue losing, they keep losing. The Canadians lost, the Rangers lost. So the Red Wings are really one win away from being right back in it, and we need the Vancouver Canucks to go into New York and beat the Islanders so that the game on Thursday at home against
Fleming.
Ottawa could have some real mening.
So you telling me there's a chance?
There's a chance.
Let's go.
I don't think 91. It'll take 91 points to get into the playoffs this year.
Hey, let's rock. Let's rock. That's the Red Wings correspondent, Flannel Sam, as well. Stay tapped in with Woodward Wings. They're doing a lot of good stuff there, and it's a part of our growing weekend lineup of content. So, hey, it's your boy Brandon, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Go Pistons, man. Continue to handle business. Get healthy, Cade, and do some damage. Don't just be satisfied with something they're not, but go and do some damage. And chat family, as always, you guys are the most important part of this thing. It's been an epic show. Make sure you all are supporting D-Mac. Get over the socials and make sure you get in on that giveaway. It's been Wake Up Woodward.
Since the hit on Chris Draper.